What truly holds back the strongest Demon Slayer characters? Today we're breaking down the hidden weaknesses of every Hashira, from the calmest swordsman to the loudest warriors. Let's dive in. Tengen Uzui. Tengen isn't just flashy, he's also incredibly skilled. As the sound Hashira, his combat seems like a work of art. His ninja background, combined with his dual blades and explosive moves, makes him unpredictable and thrilling to watch. His gifted breathing lets him analyze enemy patterns like music and striking in rhythm with deadly accuracy. He's strategic, stylish, and always dramatic. But that flair comes at a cost. Tengen relies heavily on speed and space to control the battlefield. Following his injuries, he lost both an eye and an arm. His physical abilities dropped. That forced him into early retirement. While still smart and resourceful, he depends too much on movement and theatrics. Also, there's one big weakness. Tengen's flashy tactics can backfire against more calm and calculated opponents, who get the pattern of his movement and are smart enough to outclass him by not playing into his rhythm. Mitsuri Kanroji. Behind her sweet, bubbly personality, Mitsuri hides a serious power. Thanks to her unique muscle structure, she's incredibly strong, but also shockingly flexible. Her love-breathing style combines speed, range, and emotion, and her whip-like sword lets her strike from angles most fighters wouldn't expect. Her energy and kindness give her an edge, especially against demons who underestimate her. Still, Mitsuri has limits. Her fighting style demands constant motion and plenty of space. If an enemy traps her or slows her down, her ability to defend herself drops fast. She's also highly sensitive and deeply empathetic. In emotional battles, especially ones where the enemy manipulates feelings, her caring nature can turn into hesitation. That emotional vulnerability, while human, can leave her exposed when facing cruel, chaotic foes. Giyu Tomioka. Giyu is calm, determined, and one of the most skilled swordsmen in the Demon Slayer Corps. His water-breathing style is smooth and graceful, letting him stay calm while striking with precision. He even invented his own technique called the 11th form, Dead Calm, which can completely cancel out a barrage of attacks in a single peaceful move. His cool head and sharp instincts make him especially dangerous to reckless enemies. In one-on-one combats, he rarely makes a mistake, but beneath the surface, Giyu struggles. He carries a heavy burden of guilt, believing he didn't truly earn his place as a Hashira. This survivor's guilt holds him back, emotionally and professionally. He doesn't easily connect with others, and that emotional distance weakens his effectiveness in team battles. Sometimes his self-doubt causes him to act alone or hesitate, even when cooperation is required. Giyu is a powerhouse, but his lone wolf mindset often limits his full potential. Kyojuro Rengoku. Rengoku is like a beacon of hope. His warmth, energy, and booming positivity could lift an entire room. With his flame-breathing style, he attacks with power and fiery spirit, never hesitating to protect the innocent. He acted fast, spoke with honor, and inspired others to follow his lead. People felt stronger just being near him, and in battle, his fiery techniques burned with passion and intensity. However, Rengoku's biggest strength is also his biggest weakness. He never backs down, even when retreating might have saved his life. Against the Upper Moon Akaza, that refusal to adapt or rethink strategy ended in tragedy. His direct approach was powerful, but easy to read. Rengoku's unwavering honor left no room for escape, and in the end, his heroic nature led him into a fight he couldn't win. He died bravely, but his rigid mindset cost him everything. Muichiro Tokito. At first glance, Muichiro doesn't seem like much. Young, distant, and forgetful, but that calm exterior hides a sword-fighting genius. As the Mist Hashira, he uses speed and confusion to his advantage, making enemies feel lost in a fog. His mist-breathing techniques are designed to disorient and deceive. Once he unlocks his Demon Slayer mark, his strength skyrockets. However, Muichiro's cold detachment early on was a double-edged sword. He often ignored others, missed emotional cues, and made careless decisions when caught off guard. Him forgetting his identity made him emotionally numb, and it took time for him to care again. Even as his memory and feelings return, he still sometimes acts alone or overlooks important context. In group battles, that lack of connection can cost so much. Gyomei Himejima. Gyomei is the gentle giant of the Hashira, but don't mistake his calm nature for weakness. He's the strongest of them all, both physically and emotionally grounded. Despite being blind, he sees through vibrations and heightened senses. His stone breathing paired with his unique axe and and flail weapon makes him feel like an iron wall in combat. Being spiritual makes Gyomei incredibly disciplined, yet Gyome's style depends on his surroundings being stable. Loud, chaotic environments or uneven terrains can throw off his balance. His childhood traumas also affects him. He carries guilt and grief like a burden on his soul. His strict routines help him stay grounded, but they can also affect him when opponents plan to surprise him. Even with all his power, Gyomei's sensitivity to chaos is a real weakness in aggressive group combats. Sanemi Shinazugawa. Sanemi is a storm of fury and power. His wind-breathing style is violent, fast, and full of rage, slicing through demons like a hurricane. His rare Marechi blood is intoxicating to demons, which he uses to lure them in before going all out. In battle, he's fierce, unpredictable, and brutally efficient, but that wild energy comes with a cost. Sanemi's anger often controls him more than he controls it. His trauma makes him impulsive and distrustful, and he has a habit of pushing others away. This makes teamwork almost impossible. He'd rather fight alone than admit he needs help. His pride and pain leave him vulnerable not just to enemies, but to isolation. In missions where unity matters, Sanemi's fiery temper can become a dangerous liability. Shinobu Kocho. Shinobu is unlike any other Hashira. Instead of brute force, she relies on speed, poison, and precision. Her sword is more like a needle, injecting specifically made toxins into demons. She's fast, graceful, and one of the most brilliant minds in the Corps, with deep knowledge of biology and chemistry. Still, her lack of physical strength is a major drawback. Against demons who can resist poison or regenerate quickly, her attacks don't always do the job. Plus, Shinobu hides a burning hatred behind her calm, sweet demeanor. That bottled-up anger sometimes leads her to make reckless choices, like her suicide plan against Doma. She's smart and sharp, but when her emotions break through, she can become dangerously unpredictable. Shinjuro Rengoku. Shinjuro was once a proud flame Hashira like his son Kyojuro. He had strength, honor, and skill. The loss of his wife and the realization that flame breathing wasn't linked to sun breathing crushed his spirit. He fell into bitterness and alcohol, withdrawing from the world and his own family. His sword skills never truly left him, but his heart did. He stopped believing in the Demon Slayer Corps and pushed away those who cared about him, especially his sons. His downfall wasn't about strength, it was about purpose. Without hope or direction, Shinjuro went from protector to bystander, losing everything he once fought for. Jigoro Kuwajima. Jigoro was the Thunder Hashira before retirement, and he trained Zenitsu with incredible discipline and care. He was strict, but it paid off. Zenitsu's powerful thunderclap and flash came directly from his teachings. Jigoro was a firm believer in tradition and hard work. However, thunder breathing is limited. It relies heavily on speed and doesn't adapt well to longer battles. Jigoro also carried deep regret over his students, especially one who betrayed the Corps. That guilt weighed heavily on him, eventually driving him to take his own life. His heart broke over failure, showing that even strong teachers can feel helpless when their hard work doesn't bear the fruit. Obanai Iguro. Obanai's fighting style is as slippery as a snake. His serpent-breathing twists and turns and strange patterns make it hard for enemies to read his movements. With help from his pet snake, Kaburamaru, he can even compensate for his blind side. His strikes are sharp, unexpected, and constantly changing direction. However, Obanai tends to fixate during battles. His skills work best in tight, controlled environments where he can focus. In open areas or chaotic fights, his attacks lose their edge. Emotionally, he struggles with deep shame and self-doubt, especially about his feelings for Mitsuri. He often pushes himself too far, trying to prove he's worthy. This guilt can cloud his thinking and make him ignore his limits, even when backing off would be smarter. Sakonji Urokodaki. Urokodaki isn't just a master swordsman. He's also one of the best teachers the Demon Slayer Corps has ever had. As the former Water Hashira, he trained both Giyu and Tanjiro, shaping them into elite fighters. His calm, disciplined approach helps set the foundation for many future warriors. But his age and emotional ties became his biggest weaknesses. He found it hard to let go, especially when it came to sending students into danger. That protectiveness sometimes made his judgment cloudy. Urokodaki also clung tightly to tradition, which made it harder for him to adapt to the Corps' changing needs. His wisdom is deep, but in fast-moving situations, his cautious nature could be problematic. Kanae Kocho. Kanae, Shinobu's older sister, was gentle and kind to everyone, even demons. Her flower breathing was beautiful to watch, almost like a dance, but deadly when needed. She truly believed in a peaceful world and hoped that demons could one day change. That kindness, sadly, led to her downfall. In her final battle against Doma, she hesitated, hoping there was still good in him. That split second of mercy cost her life. life. Kane's dream of compassion clashed with the harsh reality of her world. Her death shattered Shinobu and changed the Kocho family's legacy, from hope and love into vengeance and sorrow. If you found this video interesting, hit that like button, subscribe for more Demon Slayer content, and let us know in the comments which Hashira do you think is the real weakling.